Well, hold on. Can y'all hear us?
Yes. Yes, we can. Judge is apparently having technical difficulties.
I said, that's my next thing. I think it's, they said the judge had taken this computer.
She's got hers to sit in law library. Mine law library doesn't have no internet access. But like,
Excuse me for being late, gentlemen. I'm having a little problems with my computer, namely I'm ignorant. What are we doing? My understanding is that we're supposed to do number 10 first on the docket. John, is that correct? Did you unmute it? That being Andrew Woodard.
Can you hear?
Can you hear us, Judge?
Yes, I can hear you.
Still no?
I cannot hear John.
He can't hear us.
Unmute him.
He says
me.
hit Alt-A.
Unmute myself and you can hear me.
Right now,
Okay.
So, hopefully you can hear me now, right?
I can. Now, who do I need to unmute? I have a Neil Connors, a Ferguson unit, a Hughes that are right now muted.
Right now, Mr. Lucina, I guess, is who's going to be working with the defendants, and he is unmuted.
And that's on Mr. Lucina. Okay.
Yes. Good morning.
And Judge Mr. Lucina is the new state counsel for offenders attorney. So in
Okay.
the past, he'd worked with Thomas Brewer for this area, but now it's going to be Jonas.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Good morning. Good to meet you.
Jay Briones called me yesterday and told me that he asked me if we could change the order of the docket. And basically, he asked that number 10 go first.
That's correct. That's correct. So Andrew Woodard would be the first one that we do this morning,
Okay.
and he's in the Ellis unit.
And so do we have him in front of me now? I have two persons. I have a FGO 1121, and then I have Hughes and I have Ferguson, which would be, let me unmute some of these defendants. Hold on. Okay. Sir, inmates, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the inmate and the Hughes.
Yes, sir.
What is your name, sir?
Patrick Venegas.
Renegas. Okay, I'm going to put you on mute for right now because I'm looking for a Mr. Woodard. Sir, is your name Woodard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got you now. Okay, thank you. I've got you under the name Kelly Strom. Okay, so, and Mr. Lucina, are you representing Mr. Woodard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Woodard, can you do me a favor and raise your right hand for me? Do you swear testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Put your hand down. Andrew Woodard? Is your name Andrew Woodard, sir?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Andrew Woodard who in this cause number 20-03-13604 stands charged with the offense of prohibited substance, possession of a prohibited substance in a facility, in a correctional facility? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
That is a third-degree felony. And for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there is a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Woodard, you also have a second count on your indictment, a possession of a prohibited substance as well, which carries the same range of punishment. It's a third-degree felony as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In other words, your indictment has two counts on it, two third-degree felony counts. You have on your indictment also an enhancement paragraph, a repeater paragraph, which alleges that in the past you also were convicted of another offense. If that offense would be proven true, it would be possible that your case could be enhanced up from a third degree up to a second degree felony. And for a second degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. You understand what your punishment could be if the enhancement were proved up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, right now, what I'd like to have from you is your formal plea on this case. You can plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. And it's not binding right now, but I need to have a formal plea from you. And what is your formal plea, sir?
Not guilty.
Mr. Lucina? Not, did you say not guilty, Mr. Woodard?
Yes, sir. Not
Okay,
guilty.
I misunderstood you. So you plead not guilty. Okay, Mr. Lucina, we need to set this now for a, I guess, a pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm looking at a, pardon me for, and by the way, I want to say hi to the court reporter just very briefly. Hi. I'm looking at a tile in front of me that says bailiff, but it actually looks like the clerk of the court in Medina County. Or,
Yes.
or is that you, Deanne?
It's me, Judge, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You could actually rob a bank with that mask. I wouldn't.
Coach, you good.
Give me a date for a pretrial on this case.
What month, Judge?
Well, I need to ask John. We had said some before, but that was in Carnes, was it not?
I believe so, Judge.
Should I let you talk to Deanne about this later, and to Mr. Lucina later, so we can get a date that's agreeable to both of you?
Yeah, let's do that when we're done here. If Deanne, if you can just stay on, and we'll figure out when the court's available and when Jonas and myself are available, and we'll try to go from there.
Yes, that'll work. Thanks.
That'll work.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to just put here reset for pretrial. Okay, then, Mr. Woodward, thank you very much. Your excuse from this Zoom hearing, you can tell the people that you're in custody with it to it's your excuse from this hearing. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yes,
You
ma'am.
didn't need to talk to him, did you, Mr. Lucina?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, now I have on my notes that number 5 should be the second one we should do, which is Mr. Page. Am I right about that?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And do I have
And Mr. Page is he's at the Ferguson unit, Your Honor.
I have a Ferguson unit coming up right now. Is your name Roderick Page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Page, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And you can put your hand down. Thank you. Is your name Roderick Page?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Roderick Page who is charged in this cause number 20-03-136 I want to say 8, my printer's not very good on this one, -8-CR with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
This offense is a 3rd-degree felony. And for a 3rd-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there is a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $2,000. Do you understand the possible punishment in your case?
Yes, sir.
There is on your indictment an enhancement paragraph which alleges that sometime before this offense committed, you were convicted finally of another offense. And if that enhancement paragraph were to be proven true in your trial, that would raise up your 3rd-degree felony up to a 2nd-degree felony. And for a 2nd-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there would be a fine anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand that possible punishment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'd like from you now is your formal plea in this case. Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Not guilty, sir.
Thank you. The defendant has formally pled not guilty. We're now going to reset this case for a pretrial. Your attorney will get together with the clerk and the court coordinator, and we'll get a date, and that date will, and your attorney will notify you of that date. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything that you need to put on the record, Mr. Lucina?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then Mr. Page, you can be excused from this meeting. You can tell the people that you have you in custody that you're excused from this Zoom meeting. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good-
Okay, my next one I had, we don't do till 12 o'clock for some reason. I don't know why, but that would be number 8, but we don't do him. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the docket and do cases that in their original order. Unless the state or the defense has any special request of me.
No, that sounds great, Your Honor.
Okay, so the one on my docket now that I have in front of me is Dwayne Bernal.
And he's at the Baylor unit, Your Honor.
And which I'm looking, do I have a Dwayne Bernal in front of me? If so, could you raise your hand for me? Dwayne Bernal?
We have 2 units down there that look like their video isn't working and they are muted right now.
That's right, I do have some mute, so let me unmute this person here, hold on. Well, if I click on the mute button, it doesn't go off. So let me, it says chat. How do I unmute these people? Julia, you're muted as well, and I don't seem to be able to unmute you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've been trying to unmute them for you.
Can we unmute these prisoners so I can find out who I have in front of me?
Patrick
When I click
Venegas.
the little blue.
Patrick Venegas.
Patrick Venegas just got
He was
unmuted, and then the other gentleman just got unmuted. All right, Patrick Venegas. Let me see if I can find him on the docket.
Number 9, Judge.
Number 9. Okay. Okay, let me find him over here. Okay, Mr. Venegas, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And you can put your hand down. Is your name Patrick Venegas?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Patrick Venegas who in this cause number 20-03-13607-CR TDC is charged with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance in a correctional, prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
This is a 3rd-degree felony, and for a 3rd-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there is a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. You understand you understand your charges and the possible punishment in your charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because you have an enhancement paragraph, that is a paragraph added on to your indictment that alleges that before this offense was committed, you had a final conviction. Because you have that enhancement paragraph, it is possible, if that enhancement paragraph were proven to be true, that you could be, your punishment could be enhanced up to a 2nd-degree felony. And for a 2nd-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand that possible punishment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Venegas, what I'd like now from you is your formal plea in this case, and you can plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. What is your formal plea right now, sir?
I plead not guilty, sir.
Defendant pleads not guilty. We're going to reset this case for a pre-trial setting. And I'm going to have your attorney and the prosecutor and the coordinator confer on the possible dates, and your attorney will get back with you on the date. Mr. Lucina, is there anything you wish to communicate to your client right now before I excuse you?
Not at this time.
Okay, then Mr. Venegas, you are excused from the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, can I ask who I have and the other prisoner that I have in front of me right now, what is your name, sir?
Raymond Ramos on the TORS unit.
Raymond Ramos. Okay, I have you right here. Thank you. Hold on. Mr. Ramos, could I ask you to please raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down now. Thank you. Is your name Raymond Ramos?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Raymond Ramos when this cause number 20-03-13601-CR-TDC, who stands charged with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
This is a third-degree felony. And for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand the possible punishment and understand the charges and the possible punishment in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because your indictment has got some enhancement paragraphs, your punishment could be enhanced or raised. Okay. There are 2 enhancement paragraphs. That is, there are 2 paragraphs in your indictment. Each paragraph alleges that you have final convictions before this offense occurred. If one of those prior indictment paragraphs is proven to be true, it is possible that your case could be enhanced up or and moved up to a second-degree felony, which means your punishment could end up being 2 years in prison minimum up to 20 years maximum, with a fine of $0 minimum up to $10,000 maximum. Do you understand what your possible punishment could be if one of those paragraphs are proven true? You understand?
Yes, sir.
If the second paragraph is proven true, as well as that other paragraph, if 2 paragraphs are proven true, then your case becomes an automatic habitual offense, which means that the minimum in your case rises up dramatically from the 2 years up to 25 years. Okay. So the minimum in your case could be 25 years up to a maximum of 99 years or life. And the fine remains the same of anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand that possible punishment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, sir, what I would like from you is your formal plea, and you can plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. What is your plea, sir?
Not guilty.
Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to reset this case for a pretrial. Your attorney will and the prosecutor and the coordinator will get together for a date, and your attorney will get that date to you later. Mr. Lucina, do you have anything you want to say to your client before I excuse him from this meeting?
Not at this time.
Okay, then Mr. Ramos, you are excused from this meeting. Thank you very much. Okay, let me catch up on my paperwork here. Okay, I'm waiting. What is your name, sir?
Jeremy Ramirez.
Jeremy Ramirez. Let me find you on my docket. 1 minute. Okay, Mr. Ramirez is number 6 in my docket. Let me find him on the other thing. Okay. Mr. Ramirez, can you please raise your right hand for me? You swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is your name Jeremy Ramirez?
Jeremy Ramirez. Yes, sir.
Are you the same Jeremy Ramirez when this cause number 20-03-13605-CR-TDC, who stands charged by indictment with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
This offense is a third-degree felony. And for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand the possible punishment in your case, Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. because your indictment has an enhancement paragraph, that is a paragraph that alleges that before this offense was committed, you had a final conviction for another felony. Because of that paragraph, if that paragraph were to be proven true at trial, then your punishment could be enhanced, that is bumped up to a second-degree felony. And it is possible in your case then that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand what your possible punishment could be if the repeater paragraph were proven true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now, Mr. Ramirez, I would like to have your formal plea on the record. You can plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. How do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
You have your formal plea of not guilty. This case will be reset for pretrial conference. Your attorney will get back with you on that date. Okay, he'll tell you what the date is later. Mr. Lucina, do you have anything you want to talk to your client about before we leave this meeting?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, then Mr. Ramirez, you're excused from this meeting. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I've just had someone come into the meeting room. Sir, could you tell me your name?
The Corey is heard.
Nicorius Hurd. Let me find you on my docket, sir. Hold on. Nicorius Hurd is number 3 on the docket. Mr. Hurd, can you do me a favor and raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you put your hand down, Mr. Hurd. Is your name Decorius Hurd?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Decorius Hurd when this cause number 20-03-13609-CR-TDC, who stands charged by indictment with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility?
Yes, sir.
This offense is a third-degree felony, and for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to a maximum of 10 years in prison. In addition, there is a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. You understand the nature of your charges and the possible punishment, sir?
Yes, sir.
Because your indictment has a repeater paragraph, that is a paragraph that alleges that you were finally convicted of another felony before this offense occurred. Because of that repeated paragraph, it is possible, if it were found to be true, that your punishment could be enhanced or bumped up to a second-degree felony. And for a second-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $20,000. Do you understand the possible punishment you could have if that enhancement paragraph were proven to be true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, Mr. Hurd, what I would like from you is your formal plea in this case. You can plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. What do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
Okay, I've entered the plea of not guilty is entered into the record. This case is going to be reset for pretrial conference. Your attorney is going to get back with you on the date. He will notify you of the date. Mr. Lucina, is there anything you wish to talk to your client about before we excuse him from this meeting?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, then Mr. Hurd, you are excused from this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, the 2 arraignments that we have left are for the Beto unit, and unless bar 5756 is the Beto unit that just came online, then we don't have them yet. Julia, is that them? The green screen there? Don't know. So while we wait to confirm that, if you want, Mr. Connors there has a motion and an order to take up regarding Dominique Johnson, number 4 on your docket.
A minute. Okay. I'm sorry.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Connors. I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of your motion before me.
Yes.
Is that your client on the screen right now?
Let's see. I haven't seen him before, but if that's Medina County, then that's probably Dominique Johnson, Your Honor.
Is your name Dominique Johnson, sir?
Sir.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Connors, what kind of
Yes, Your
motion do you have right now on Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. As the court may be aware, I was just recently appointed to this case. I'm out of Beeville, Texas, and Mr. Johnson is currently in the custody of Medina County Jail. He just recently completed a 7-year period of incarceration. This alleged conduct originated approximately 4 years ago there in the Taurus unit. I am in receipt of some preliminary discovery as of yesterday on this, so fairly new to it. I just, based upon a review of, if you will, the timing of the case, as well as this particular defendant's circumstances, what I motioned in the court for in my filing was basically that he served a straight sentence of 7 years in TDCJ. This conduct therefore occurred about 2.5 to 3 years into his sentence. He was indicted in December 2016. During that time, I'm not that familiar with what took the case so long to get us to this point, but we're here. I did point out that he was writted right over to Medina County upon his release from Beto unit. So he's transferred back down to the jurisdiction of this indictment. And that just occurred 3 weeks ago. And in that time period, he's obviously been in the Medina County Jail, but his TDCJ sentence is technically complete. So what I've asked the court for, based on a simple, Medina County was very kind, Sheriff's Office put him on the phone with me 2 days ago, and I learned that he would be returning to the same address that he has maintained prior to his incarceration. He lived with an aunt who raised him.
What address is that? Just so I know.
That is, yes, Your Honor, it's 42470 Osborne Lane, Dallas, Texas.
So he's in Dallas.
Yes, Your Honor. And he in my conversation with him, he indicates that he hopes to procure employment after his lengthy downtime here through a sister, Shermanique Brigham, who lives in McKinney, Texas, who has an online sales company. So he's hopeful to move towards some employment. He's 28 years old, by the way, Your Honor. His aunt that he lives with is retired. I just provided the information regarding the aunt and the sister there in Dallas and McKinney, and asked this court, based on the length of the incarceration and the fact that this conduct came about 4 years ago, actually in June 2016, that this defendant, who is otherwise indigent by appointment, obviously, but also by function of his being incarcerated for so long, doesn't have an ability to make bond if one were afforded. So I've styled it as a bond reduction, Your Honor, and asked essentially for this court to either set a bond. Obviously, I would ask for a recognizance bond if the court felt that.
Is there a bond set already? Do you know?
There is no bond to my knowledge, but I'll defer to Mr. English, Your Honor.
Okay.
When I was looking through the file, Your Honor, I didn't see anything on it.
John, if you can just hold on 1 minute. I want to give Mr. Connors. Mr. Connors, do you have anything else? Because I interrupted you.
Oh, no problem. Let me interject. Thank you, Your Honor. 30,000 surety bond on each count. So there is in fact a bond, and there are 5 counts. There are 5 counts in the indictment. 30,000. I'm looking at the indictment, and that indicated $30,000 surety on each count, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. English, can you respond to this and tell me? I'm guessing, Mr. Connors, that you're asking for, and then I'm going to ask you to be particular. What are you asking for your client? What do you want the court to do?
Your Honor, I would ask for a recognizance bond to be set in this matter, based on the reasons that I've given, the datedness of the indictment. I'm asking the court to set a recognizance bond. Mr. Johnson has indicated that he would return either digitally or otherwise to Medina County to face these charges. It's very early in terms of the discovery process, but I think that obviously Mr. English is going to proceed with these, it would seem. So I'm asking for the court to allow a recognizance bond to afford Mr. Johnson a chance to face these charges as a civilian at this point.
Okay, Mr. English, your response, please. And I'm going to ask you what you're going to want me to do.
The state doesn't have any objection to a PR bond as long as there's an amount set, obviously like we always do. If he were to not show, because we want there to be some incentive for him to show up. But especially with the situation in county jails right now with COVID-19 exploding, we understand that they're short on space, and this case has kind of dragged on for a while. So we're okay with letting him go back up to Dallas, and then with the promise that he'll come back at the next date.
Okay. Do we have someone from probation at the jail that can process this person for PR bonds?
Sorry. Judge, we can call somebody in really quickly if you like. If you want to take a minute, we can get them over here. They're just across the street.
Okay, I just want to know if we do have somebody. Okay, I'm ready to rule. Mr. Johnson, your lawyer's motion to release you on PR bond is going to be granted, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm releasing you on PR bonds on these cases, $10,000 bond on each case, all right? But they're PR bonds. I'm going to waive any fee, waive the fees, and make them $10,000 bonds. Now, let me explain this to you very carefully so you're not confused. You're being let out on bond. That means that you're promising to return to court when we tell you to come back to court. If you don't come back to court, your fault, my fault, anybody else's fault. If you don't come back to court, what generally happens in the system is you get put back in jail and you're never let out again on a bond because you've ruined your trust level. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be real important for you to be very active about making sure you know when to come back to court. Mr. Connors, you're going to continue to represent this gentleman, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
So Mr. Connors is going to be your link to this. Mr. Connors should be the one that tells you we're going to court or we're going to a Zoom meeting for court. Right now, I have no idea what the future holds in terms of whether or not you'll be in person or by Zoom. But whatever it is, you're going to have to depend on keeping in contact with your attorney to make sure that you know when to come to court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else I need to put on the record in this case, Mr. Connors?
No, I don't believe so, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Connors, I'm ordering PR bonds in your case. And I know you have this thought in your mind, well, I should be getting out of here real soon. No, that's not going to happen because remember, this is a bureaucracy and everything moves slow in the wheels of justice. Everything moves real slow. We have to get you processed through PR bond. They have to process you to the jail. I cannot promise you you're going to be let out of jail today or tomorrow, but I know you're going to be let out of jail. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Deanne, if you could call someone from PR bond to process this person. And if you can email me the bonds if I need to sign, and I'll print them out, scan them, and email them back to you. Would that work?
Over.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So that takes care of Mr. Johnson.
And then, Your Honor, the box on your screen that says bar 5756.
Right.
I'm told that's the Darrington unit where Mr. Shannon is at, that we were supposed to set up for noon.
Okay.
We're still trying to get the Beto unit on, which has Dwayne Bernal and Eric Cruz. So if they are ready, yeah, it looks like they're ready there for Mr. Shannon. we could go ahead and do Mr. Shannon there at the Darrington unit.
Okay. Let me ask you, sir, but I have Michael Shannon. This looks like a female. Am I-
Hey.
Michael Shannon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Hold on 1 minute before I go any further. I want to make sure I have your information here. I don't have the information on Mr. Shannon as to whether or not he has enhancements paragraphs, Mr. English.
It's the very last page, John, or it kind of got printed off on its own separate page,
Oh,
so it might
okay.
have gotten.
I see it now. I see it now. Thank you. I got it now. Okay. Mr. Shannon, can
Yes,
you
sir.
raise your right hand for me as best you can? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Is your name Michael Shannon?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Michael Shannon who in this cause number 20-03-13602-CR-TDC, who's charged with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance in a correctional facility?
I got a case for it, and it was not on me, sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
got a case for it that from the TDC officer.
Okay, I'm not asking if you're guilty or not guilty right now. I'm just asking if you're the person that's accused of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. This offense is a third-degree felony.
Yes, sir.
And for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 3 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. You understand the nature of the charges against you and the possible punishment that's possible in your case.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because your indictment has 2 enhancement paragraphs, that is 2 paragraphs that allege prior convictions in your case, it is possible that your punishment could be enhanced or bumped up to another level. If one of those paragraphs were proven to be true, your punishment could be bumped up to a second-degree felony, which means your punishment would go up from a minimum from 2 years minimum up to 20 years maximum, with the same fine of $0 to $10,000. You understand what your punishment could be if that paragraph were proven to be true? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
There's a second paragraph, and if that first paragraph and that second paragraph were both proven to be true, that would bump up your punishment to a habitual, which means your minimum would bump up to 25 years, up to a possible maximum 99 years or life in prison, with a fine of anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand what the possible punishment could be in your case if both paragraphs were proven to be true? Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What I'd like now from you, sir, is just a formal plea in your case that is not binding. I'm asking you now, are you ready to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest in this case?
No, not guilty.
Okay. Defendant pleads not guilty. Mr. Lacina, you representing him?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have anything you want to say to this
I
gentleman?
can't hear you, sir. I can't hear y'all.
Let's try this again. Mr. Lacina, do you have anything you want to say to your client before I excuse him from the meeting?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr.
Hold
Shannon,
up, hold up. Yes, sir. I missed everything you said, sir.
I was just
It's,
asking your lawyer if he wanted to talk to you before I excuse you from the meeting, and he said he didn't have anything to say right now. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all that passed. That's all that happened.
Well,
He'll
can I
talk
say
to
something, sir?
you. You really shouldn't talk to me without your lawyer being present, because you can say stuff that you really would regret later. But your lawyer is going to talk to you later. Are you not, Mr. Lacina?
Yes, I will be in touch with you, Mr. Shannon.
Okay.
You're the same one I talked to yesterday, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you know about this. I got that paperwork. Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's fine.
I will be in touch with you. I'll be calling you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this case is going to get reset for a pretrial hearing, and your attorney will give you that date when that happens. All right?
Yes, sir.
You can be
Y'all have a
excused
good,
from the meeting. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
y'all have a good day.
You too. Okay.
All right, Your Honor, that's everybody except the two from the Beto unit. And any progress?
Do we recess and wait for them to come in, or do I just keep my connection on and just walk away from it and come back? That might be easier for me, Julia, because otherwise I'll probably screw everything up. Is that?
On the phone with the Beto unit right now, trying to get them online.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, what, should I take a 5-minute break then, or what?
Judge, may I ask you about Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, wait a minute. And
So we have a disposition sheet. Can I email this to you quickly and let you check off whatever boxes we need to sign this sheet? Is that okay?
Certainly.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you.
I'll open up another tab and while I'm doing that, and let me see. Julia, you're muted for some reason. I cannot hear you, or see, well, I see you, but I don't hear you. Can we?
Oh, she's muted, Your Honor, because she's talking to the unit right now. So she's doesn't want that coming through to everybody else.
I'm going to print out this other thing. So I'm going to go to another tab. So I think you should be able to still see me. I have no idea how that works, but I'm going to try that anyway. We'll find out. Okay, so I'm opening up another tab. Going to my email.
They're gonna be back to the one we missed this morning, the bringing in who's Castro's for Judge Cash. So,
Yeah. Well, we have that one at 12, which should be in a minute, actually.
is it here? Or is it?
No, you're done with it. We just done with that. So I think we can probably get off.
No, it won't be until 12. It won't be until 1. So
Yeah, as long as he gets this disposition sheet.
all right. I'll leave everything alone. I'll be back. I'll be back before 1. But, all right. Thank you.
Okay. So that didn't work. So let me go back here.
Yes, is this the law office of Jeff Needs? Excuse me, Eves. My name is Laura Luxton. I'm with State Counsel for Offenders, and he and I represent the same client, and I just needed to speak to him about that if he is available. Laura Luxton with State Counsel for Offenders.
Miss Luxton, I just want to tell you you're not muted.
Your Honor, is it all right if I step away for just a couple of minutes real quick?
It certainly is.
All right, I'll be right back. Thank you.
Julia, can you hear me? I guess not.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
I don't know what I did, but now it's telling me, I just have a blank screen that says Zoom on it. I mean, a big square that says Zoom. What should I do? Should I go back to the invitation? It says post attendees Zoom.
I
click on
believe
the
you
Zoom.
probably just minimize your screen because we can still see you.
Okay, so let me do this. Okay, I see it now. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to get back to, I'm going to end up having to, Deanne,
Yes. Yes. Judge.
do you really need that document right now?
No, we just can't process them till and the sheriff start processing him out until you sign.
I got the document. I've signed the document, but I'm afraid if I start to try and scan it in and send it back to you, then I'm going to screw up my whole Zoom process again. I'm just not that efficient. But the good news is I did receive the document and I have signed it. I've written on it, defendant granted PR bonds on each count, 10,000 each count, bond fee waived.
Okay.
And I've signed it and dated it. And as soon as we get through with these things, I will, and I close out of this Zoom meeting, I will send it to you.
Okay, that'll work, Judge.
It's just that I'm not confident enough right now in what I'm doing with the computer. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that'll work. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Judge, this is Lisa, the court reporter. I just wanted to thank you for giving me that few minutes late so I could finish that other hearing.
I had no idea I was doing that, so you have no reason to thank me.
Okay, well then, never mind.
Never mind is right, because if I did give you that break, it was because I'm completely, a novice on this stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it's a big learning curve for a lot of people.
Hopefully we'll get better. Yeah, especially people my generation. We're a little bit behind the curve on this, but trying to learn it.
Oh, yes.
So we're just waiting now on the
Beto unit.
The other units, right? Okay.
And Julia says you can see her talking to them right now. She is trying to talk them through how to get online. They're trying right now.
Okay.
Neil, do you have any other business that you need us to take care of?
No, I don't believe I do. So I guess I'll ask to be excused. I was just standing by to see if there might be any residuals.
If you want to stand by, you're free to. It's up to you. But I think Mr. Lucina is probably, the two cases that we have left are, let me see who we have left. I'm sorry. Did we take care of Dwayne Bernal? We did not.
No, Bernal and Cruz are the two that we have left.
And Mr. Lucina, are you representing them? And you're muted right now.
Stepped away, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
I believe Mr. Lucina stepped away a moment ago.
No, he's right there.
Yes, Your Honor, I do represent Mr. Bernal and Mr. Cruz.
Okay, then Mr. Connors, I'm sorry if we don't have any other business for you. You can be excused if you want to go about your business.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day, Your Honor.
You too.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Neil.
Likewise. Thank you.
Okay, I just got off the phone with the major at the veto unit, and he is getting those offenders and getting on the Zoom meeting as quickly as we can.
Okay. Julia, if I minimize my whole screen and start to scan something, if I unminimize it, will this come up?
Yes, sir.
It should? Really? Okay, well, I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to mute well, I'm not going to mute myself because probably ought not to, but I'm going to minimize the screen. I'm going to try to scan something into my computer and so I can make use of this time. So here goes nothing. Okay, no, you're still there. So I'm going to scan. I'm going to do this.
And just remember, we can still see you and hear you, even though you can't see us.
I know, but I'm not doing anything really too outrageous yet. I said yet. Actually, I can do it with this one still on, so let's see. Okay, clear. Okay, Deanne, are you in the courtroom?
I am.
I just emailed you a signed order. Can you let me know if you got it?
Let me check. I have somebody that sent it to you, so let me wait for her.
Okay.
Judge, you want to take a second and look at dates for a Medina reset?
Certainly. Hold on one minute. Let me put this over here. What month are we looking at, John?
Let's see. We're all the way at the beginning of July. We could probably go into September if that's a good time to start looking for you, Judge.
Certainly. Come on. Just double checking on my mini calendars. August, September. The latter part of September is pretty open for me right now. I'm talking about from the 21st to the 30th. I'm completely open.
Okay.
I'm
also open on those dates. Jonas, what about you?
Right now, I haven't got anything those dates, so.
So when do you want to go back to Medina on these cases?
If you wanted, want to look at the 22nd, and we could probably get by with just one day, I'll bet. Tuesday the 22nd look okay?
For me, it does.
That's okay for me. Shouldn't be a problem right now.
Okay, so
Okay,
I'm gonna
and-
write in Hondo Prison.
And is the court available then?
Yes, Medina has availability on the 22nd.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. So everyone's on the same page. How often does that happen? Okay. Hondo Prison Docket, I'm putting question marks here because I don't know if it's gonna be in person or Zoom, right? Right now, I should assume probably Zoom. Should I not? But that's, I don't know, a little bit ahead, but right now.
Hold on, Your Honor. Julia is telling me that we've got, I don't have it on my calendar, Julia, but I guess it must have gotten deleted somehow. She says that I've got a conflict on the 22nd.
It's a good thing you have Julia.
No, you have no idea.
It's like B County, maybe?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
our, I don't know how that got removed from my calendar, but what about the next week, the 29th?
Sure. Let me see. The first 3 days are good. Yeah, actually, that week is good. So what day?
Is that okay?
What
That
day?
looks okay for me.
The 29th?
Yes.
Okay. So,
And what about Medina County availability on that date?
oh,
We
yeah.
are available until 1 p.m. on the 29th. We're available all day 28th.
Okay, well, we could do the 28th.
Why don't we do the 28th then?
Check.
Hondo Prison Docket. What time, gentlemen?
10 works great for me, Judge.
10 o'clock?
That'll work all right.
Okay, and I'm gonna put question marks again as to whether or not Zoom or in person, right? We don't know yet,
Correct.
correct? Yeah, so I'll put in Zoom question marks. I'll write this in another one. 28th is a Monday. Hondo Prison. 10 a.m. Okay. Julia, can I ask you some computer stuff? Or are you busy? If you're, oh, you're muted. Okay.
Sir?
Well, if we ever get to the point where we start doing please on Zoom, are you going to be using DocuSign or Google Sign? I mean, are we gonna? Do you know what you're going to be using if we get to that point?
I don't. I guess that's what we'll have to,
Is somebody else doing that now that you know of, or?
I don't know. I'll have to ask around.
Okay, I'm getting ready to do, well, I'm getting ready to really screw up Bear County by doing the jail court docket. And that particular judge is showing me what they do, and he says that he doesn't like the system. They're using Google Sign, but he says DocuSign is better, but I have no idea.
DocuSign. Okay, I'll look at it.
But basically it involves emailing, sending, and really it's too complicated for me to understand, but I'm trying to look forward, if we do get to that point, how we're going to handle that, how it's going to get handled. Sorry to lay that on you.
No, I'll look at it. Yeah.
But, and John, if you know of anyone that's doing it right now in any of the other jurisdictions and how they're doing it, same for you, Ms. Listina. If you know how they're doing, please, well, you guys haven't done it yet, have you?
Not very many.
Okay, all right, we'll figure that out. Okay, there's somebody on my screen now.
Yes, sir. This is Warden Breeden at the George Beto unit.
Yes, sir.
And we apologize for all of the technical problems. We've got offender crews that we just now got set up, and We'll get him right here so you guys can visit with him and talk to him, okay? Can you hear us okay?
We can hear you great.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, just let us know.
Can you see right here, guy?
Okay, and what is your name, sir?
Eric Cruz?
Cruz, Eric Cruz? Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. Mr. Cruz, can you do me a favor and raise your right hand as best you can? You swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Is your name Eric John Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Eric John Cruz when this cause number 20-03-13600-CR-TDC, who stands charged with the offense by indictment of possession of a prohibited item or substance in a correctional facility? Is that you?
No.
It's not you?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm not saying if you did it or didn't do it. I'm just saying, are you the person that stands charged with that offense? I don't have the wrong person in front of me right now, do I?
Oh, no, no, no.
So are you the same person who's charged with that
Yes.
offense then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This offense is a third-degree felony. And for a third-degree felony, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there is a fine possible anywhere from a minimum of $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand the nature of the charges and what the possible punishment could be in those charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cruz, because your indictment has a repeater paragraph or an enhancement paragraph that alleges that sometime before this offense, you were finally convicted of a felony, it is possible, if that paragraph were proven to be true, that your punishment could be bumped up from a third degree up to a second degree felony. And if that were to happen, your punishment could possibly become 2 years minimum in prison, up to 20 years maximum in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. You understand what your punishment could be if the enhancement paragraph were proven to be true. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now, Mr. Cruz, what I'm going to ask you to do is to give me a formal plea, and it's not binding. We just need a formal plea right now of either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. How do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Then we will be resetting this case for a pretrial. Your attorney will get back with you on the date. We've been talking preliminarily about dates, but I want to make sure those are good dates. And your attorney will get back with you on that date and let you know what the date is. Mr. Lucina, do you have anything you want to tell your client before I excuse him from this meeting?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Cruz, thank you very much. You can be excused from this meeting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Is that good?
Yeah, you look
Oh.
good.
Thank you.
As good as the person can with the mask on, but yeah, you look good.
No, no, I didn't know if you needed anything else.
Actually,
Oh.
it's Dwayne Bernal in your unit.
For no? Uh-huh. I didn't know we had to.
Okay, are you Dwayne Bernal?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Can I ask you to raise your hand as best you can for me, sir? Can you raise your right hand? You swear the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
And you can put your hand down. Okay. Is your name Dwayne Bernal?
That's correct.
Are you the same Dwayne Bernal who in this cause number 20-03-13606-CR-TDC, who stands charged by indictment with the offense of possession of a prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility. Is that you? Are you the same person who's charged with that offense? I'm not talking to the wrong guy, am I?
Yeah, I'm the one that's being accused.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The person accused of that crime. Okay.
Sir.
This offense is a third-degree felony, and it is possible in your case that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 10 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from a minimum of $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand the possible punishment in your case?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Because in your case, there's been an enhancement paragraph added to your indictment that alleges that sometime before this offense occurred, you have a final conviction on your record. Because of that paragraph, enhancement paragraph, it is possible, if that paragraph were proven to be true, that your punishment could be bumped up from a third degree up to a second degree. And for second degree, it is possible that you could be punished anywhere from a minimum of 2 years in prison up to 20 years in prison. In addition, there's a fine possible anywhere from $0 up to $10,000. Do you understand what the possible punishment could be in your case if that enhancement paragraph were proven to be true?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. But now all I want from you now is a formal plea in this case. It's not binding. And I'd like to know if you want to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest on this. How do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
Okay, defendant has pled not guilty. We're going to reset this for a pretrial conference. Your attorney is going to get back with you on that date. And is there anything that, Mr. Lucina, that you want to talk to your client about before I excuse him from this meeting?
Not at this time.
Mr. Bernal, then you're excused from this meeting. Thank you very
All right. Yes, sir. Excuse me. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Okay, I believe we've sliced and diced all the people on the docket, have we not, Ms. English?
That's correct, Your Honor. We made it through.
Okay.
Your Honor, is that it?
That's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir. If anything else, let us know.
Okay, thank
Got
you.
anything else, let us know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Judge,
Deanne, did you get
Yes.
that?
I did. Also, there are some pretrial conditions that we use at times. Do you want him to have pretrial conditions? Do you want me to send you that?
Whatever the normal pretrial divisions are, do you want to email those to me?
I'll do that, yes. If you'll just scan them back, yes.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do I need to talk to anybody else? Computer Guru, do I need to do? Computer Guru, question. I somehow got in a wrong meeting because I clicked on something called Google Meet. That was on the thing you sent me.
The way the Zoom meeting is set up is that it provides with 3 links, so that if it's a Google, you can join through Google Meet, or if it's Skype for Business, you should be able to join through whatever medium you use. But for some reason, those links are not as effective as the actual Zoom link itself. So you kind of have to hunt it through the invitation a little bit.
Okay, so when I see an invitation, I need to avoid the word Google anywhere in it. And I just needed, the invitation should say Zoom.
There should be a Zoom link.
Zoom link. Okay. I'm sorry I was late on this because I was like staring at myself for like 3 or 4 minutes on this Google Meet. I didn't quite understand what I'd done.
You're fine.
Okay. Mr. Lucina, nice to meet you virtually.
Good to meet you. I hope we can do this in person sometime soon.
Yes, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we didn't have to worry about infecting each other. And John, is your house doing okay? And your family doing all right?
Yep, here in my actual office again. Got the last piece of furniture delivered so that I can start turning it into a real office and put my files together, all that sort of stuff. So life is slowly returning to normal.
Well, good. I'm glad for that. Julia, thank you very much for holding my hand on this stuff. I really need the help, and I appreciate the help that you're giving me.
My pleasure.
All right, we will see you guys. Let me see, John, before I let you go, I don't have anything else with you, do I? Until that happens? We still don't have an Orange Day, do we?
Let me,
You might have to talk to Briones later, but on my calendar, I'm looking at my calendar. I do not.
I've got Monday, August 17th. Does that show up for you?
It does not show up for me at all on either one of my calendars. So, but it's open.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I do have it on my travel calendar, so I didn't transfer it to my desktop. Yeah, I have August 17th Carnes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me put that on my desktop as well.
And Jonas, you're going to be covering Carnes as well too, right?
I will be. I don't know that I'll be there on that day. I have a civil trial that's currently scheduled for that week. It may be getting pushed back. But yes, I will be on the Carnes cases going forward.
Okay.
Okay, but somebody from your office is covering that date, right?
Yeah, I believe Tom will be able to cover it if I'm not able to.
If he's not able to, I'll handle it.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Okay.
The mysterious voice, Your Honor, is Thomas Brewer that you met a couple of times. He's the BT 00040.
Mr. Brewer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which is your man of us. Okay, that's good. Anything else I need to touch base with on anybody?
I believe we're good. I appreciate you helping us get through this today.
Well, thank you for letting me do this. It's always a pleasure working with you guys. And most particularly you, Julia. Thank you very much. The only person that seems to know what they're doing in this whole process is her. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to get out of the meeting. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.